me then, yeah. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is David. This is Justin.
Oh, we're going down that route, are we? Very formal. Fair enough. I was a multi-award-winning journalist using that name. I want to talk to you about the ice.
It's mint, innit?
It's melted already.
Yeah, that's because it's about 1,000 degrees in this room. Hence why I asked for ice water, not bath water. All right?
Stephen's got a new toy. It's called an ice maker.
It's fucking sensational, isn't it?
It is good. This
On demand ice, lads. Forget sliced bread. Forget the sat-nav. Forget the wheel. On demand ice.
What will they think of next? It's amazing what they come up with. I just can't get over it. Frozen water.
Condensation.
Condensation. Hey.
So you know it's good.
How are you over there, Dave? You all right, mate?
Yeah, my ice has melted too.
People don't understand how hot it is in this room.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sat here in a jumper, in a hoodie. Just used to this warm weather coming from Salford, or living in Salford.
Get involved in the comments. Do you like ice?
Yeah, let us know what you think. Do you know what I want to ask people? Because people keep commenting on it. And I won't ask you actually because you sat next to me. Jadon Sanchez.
Jason Sanchez.
The joke, is it done now?
No, absolutely
Producer Joe, is Producer Joe today, Joe Smith, who you all know very well. He's shouting yes. David, what are you saying? Jadon Sanchez or Jadon Sancho?
Jason.
Oh, you're sticking with it.
Right.
You're sticking with it.
Here's the thing. You know he's mates with like half of my football team. There's a real chance that he's heard of it. And that warms my cockles. And I'm going to call it him.
Right. Okay. Well, people are getting involved in the comments already. Well, Cameron S says, I like Jadon Sancho. Sanchez, even. Yeah. Get it right. Yeah, let us know what you think. We'll do as we're told. Well, I will anyway. He won't. He'll just do what he wants. Lewis Tuffer says Jadon Sanchez.
Yeah,
so there you go. All right, fair
There's
enough.
more comments, people going, what is Jadon Sanchez?
Right, Jason's, because what happened the other night, me and Joe did the transfers live, and I realised some people in the comments that I've not seen it said, are these two for real? Who is Jadon Sanchez? They don't even know his name. It's like, it's a joke we've been doing for, some would argue, a little bit too long on this channel where we've been calling him Jadon Sanchez, Joe shouting, he agrees we've been doing it for too long. And I've noticed quite a few comments like, lads, it was funny the first time, but it's wearing a bit thin now. We've had a year of it.
That's the whole point of jokes. They get funnier the longer they go on.
Yeah?
There's a bit of a down spiral, but it comes back straight back up, doesn't it?
Okay, well, Tyrone Tuama, sorry I've butchered that one, says Jadon Sanchez until he wins the Champions League with us. All right, that's fair enough. John F09 says Jadon Sancho.
Mark Johns Hull says, Steve, do you want to come and join me in my hot tub?
Who says that?
Guy called Mark.
How many's he had? Hey, started early, on the drink. Hey, started drinking.
We haven't done nearly
this
enough
morning
podcasts from hot tubs as far as I'm concerned.
There's a reason for that, Stephen.
Why?
Good taste. Right?
I reckon it's more to do with water mechanics and electronics.
Maybe that's a members video. Stephen Howson in a hot tub. Hey, that'll get the members flying in.
Joe's saying, can we talk about football?
I know, he's getting annoyed now. All right, let's talk about Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sanchez, because as the thumbnail says, and you know me, I like to stick to the thumbnails, Dortmund have set a deadline. Who tells us that Dortmund have set a deadline?
Who asked
Stephen? Your mate, Jan Fjortoft.
Not my mate.
Why not? What's wrong with him?
Not my mate.
All right, well, make a bit more effort, please. He's a lovely man. He says, Jan Fjortoft even says, I don't know, I've just repeated that, excuse me, I'm just reading words in front of me. Sancho, it's been suggested from some that Man United wants to make the deal happen before, in capitals, just to emphasise that point, the Euros, as there has been no contact directly between the clubs. This is not likely at all. And he's quoted himself. I quite like this. He's quote-tweeted himself, which is clever. Dortmund will travel to their training camp the 23rd of July. That's the deadline this summer. 3 exclamation marks. But they hope to have a final decision as soon as possible. So the 23rd of July is what Jan Fjortoft is saying. He's sort of been borderline ITK a little bit, hasn't he? Jan Fjortoft. He seems to have some connections there. I wouldn't say he's tier 1 by any stretch of the imagination, but he's someone who you can put a little bit of weight behind his words.
I'm going to give you some breaking news myself here, Jay.
Go on, because you know a few things.
Stretford Paddock are playing SE Dons on the 25th of July.
Right.
And I wanted Jadon Sanchez to come watch that game. So, stick that in your calendars.
Using the term breaking news quite loosely there, Stephen. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got some breaking news for you. I wanted something to happen.
Anyway.
Right, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've got breaking news.
On that note.
Yeah.
So that's obviously when they're going on camp.
Yep.
The amount of people who go, all transfers have to happen before then.
Yep.
They never do.
No.
With all the will in the world, they never do. The fact that if what Jan's saying there is...
Jan is your mate now, is it?
I didn't say it's my mate. I said what Jan said. Pay attention.
Jan.
What Jan's saying now, Mr. Fjortoft, even.
That's better. Use his correct
For
name.
Jortoft, as saying, right? If there's been no contact between United and Dortmund, what the fuck is going on?
Right. Well, that is a point. One thing I will say, though, about the deadline thing.
The United just go, I wish we could sign Sancho.
Yeah.
And then just, like, squeeze dead hard and, like, did it work? No.
They tried that last time, didn't they?
Fuck.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly the tactic from
Well, was it in the tactics like just get the player to really want to come and then hope the club will say, all right then, don't give us the 110 million quid we want.
Stare at the phone.
You can just give us 70.
Ring you bastard!
Yeah. Like, do United not realise they have to negotiate with Dortmund at some point? You can't just keep going to Jadon Sanchez or Jadon Sancho and say, do you want to come to United? He's like, yeah, we'll give you loads of money. Yeah, yeah. 5-year deal. Yeah, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Sound. Have you spoke to my club about that? Nah. No.
What if they say no?
Yeah. If we don't ask him, they can't say no.
And they might say no.
Yes.
That's when we try and pay him fucking magic beans and fucking never IOU tickets.
Maybe we'll just keep doing this every summer until he's not got a contract with him anymore. Then we go, cool, now you can join us.
Save a lot of
And
money.
then he'll go to Chelsea.
That's a good point there. Dave's got a hell of a point there. Because then when he's out, he's a free transfer then.
Nice. Hey, Glazonomics did love that one there. Ian in the super chat says, with Sancho coming in, he's confident. Does that mean Mbappe on the bench, or could he play on the left with Sancho on the right and Ronaldo up front? That's a very good question.
That's
that.
a good looking question.
Ian, yeah.
It deserves an answer.
Yeah. I think it'll be Ronaldo on the bench. No, listen, I'd love to sign any of them, but the Sancho one with the deadline, we mentioned deadline, last summer, and it's come true, it's proven right. We spoke to Patrick Berger and he said, quote, if you miss this deadline, this was last summer, that Dortmund have given you, you're right, you look a bit perturbed.
Yeah, I think he just keeps clicking the blackout screen.
Right, no one needs to know about the technical shenanigans. He said, this deadline that Dortmund have given, it matters to them. And once you go past that deadline, they're not going to talk to you.
Well, that's what happened last summer, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and everyone was like...
there's a deadline, and we was like, is there though?
Really? If we give them money, they'll just take it after the deadline. He was like, no, they won't.
And they didn't.
No. Like, as far as we're concerned, that transfer isn't happening this summer because the deadline's gone and we're now in our pre-season training.
Did we learn anything from that? Let's find out in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, when we go, deadline? Do you know what you're on about, mate? No, not interested. And
Maybe it's a
Dortmund go,
language barrier. They don't know the German word for it.
Well, wasn't it the time barrier that did us for Haaland when he was in Norway? Didn't we ring it like, they said 9 o'clock in like Norwegian time and we rang in English time, which was too late. And he went to Mulder or whatever it was. Something like that. That's what I read, so it must be true. I read it on the internet. Go on, you're having a little bit of a Google there. Cool Boy says Haaland rather than Sancho. Sancho slightly overrated. Was anyone concerned with his England performance? Because I've seen a few people on social media.
Do you know what the German word for deadline is?
Frist.
Frist, yeah. You can clearly see 25 inches or so.
No, I remember it from school. It was what we learnt in German, like the first lesson. What's deadline for us? There you go. Good. You'll need that 24 years from now.
Was you learning German in case they won?
Yeah. During the blitz, you didn't know which way it was going to go, so just hedge your bets.
Plan ahead a little bit.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You know how it is.
Eins, zwei, drei, say it after me.
Uber alles and all that jazz. Yeah. Did you watch England?
Yeah.
Was it Sancho all right? Because a few people slagging him off. I didn't watch it because, I'm a United fan and I'm top red.
The tempo of the game was gash.
Yeah.
They played the forward four that I wanted to see us play, but the forward four that I want to see us play and be a counter-attacking side. And we had 104% possession.
All right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So you didn't really get to see the characteristics of the reasons why I wanted to see those players all play together. Why we're playing the likes of Romania. That's probably not who's going to knock us out of the Euros, is it?
Is that not the sort of standard of teams that tend to knock us out of those competitions, though? You're like literally Romania in 2000.
Okay, so 21 years ago that happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, usually in the friendlies, though, you don't play, like,
why
the bestest.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, probably from our point of view, because
so
we'll
England
get battered
haven't,
and
as we
it'll
found
ruin
out,
our
and Joe's
confidence.
still not come to terms with, that England haven't won a single knockout game against a big opposition ever.
Not since
from
66.
66 when there's questionable circumstances, right? Since then, and we play guff in friendlies. I don't know, maybe don't play guff in friendlies, maybe test yourself. Maybe don't go for like this perfect record for years and years, and then as soon as you get to any sort of meaningful competition, get twatted.
All right, then go on. I'll ask you this from him, because he doesn't like to talk about it, but he does manage a football team, Mr. Howson.
Keep it on the low.
When you go into a friendly, what are you wanting from a friendly? If you're going into a friendly, like if you were that scenario, do you want to build up confidence by beating a relatively poor team? Do you want to sort of have a lot of the ball so you can test out your passages of play or whatever? Or do you want to play a mint team and see how ready you are for this tournament?
England typically qualify with perfect records from qualification.
Yeah,
right.
I remember the Capello one. Was it 9 out of 10?
Yeah, well, yeah, we've had 10 out of 10s in the past, so that happens. Now, those are your games in technically a competitive environment where you find out what you do when you come up against your low blocks and you're going to have loads of the ball.
Okie doke.
That's not why England lose tournaments. England lose tournaments because they just come up against better teams or better systems. So when they come up against a Germany, a France, a Portugal, an Italy, even a Croatia, where, to be honest, England could have won that game.
Or an Iceland.
Iceland's just an embarrassment, isn't it? But those are the games that England typically lose. Now, I created a new football club out of nothing last year.
Yeah.
And I got us the hardest possible friendlies that I could find. I found established teams. I found a Sunday League team, which I know has got semi-professional players in, and it's full of absolute dickheads. They delivered on everything that I thought they would. Brought flares and everything for winning a pre-season friendly. Sound. The first ever game that we had was against the best amateur team in the Manchester area, the team that had gone on, I think they was either undefeated or lost just one, hadn't they, in the Manchester Premier Division. You're talking leagues and leagues above us. And the reason I did that is because I was like, right, well, these are the best. These are the ones that are going to cause us the most dramas. I want to see how far we're off. And can we live with that level of opposition? We got beaten in the cup a few weeks ago against a team that went flawless through the league. I've been in touch with them and said, can we have a friendly in pre-season? I want to play us again. I want to see how far.
Fair enough. Right.
For me, that's what you've got to do, is you've got to go and play the best to know how far you're off them. What is the point? We get a lot of people DMing us wanting to play us, and there's a lot of teams that we know we're far superior than. What's the point? What is the need in some sort of ego trip of playing someone and putting 10 past them? Yay, nice one. What did you learn? Nothing, because when we play Germany, we're not going to have 70% possession, and we're not going to beat them.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to play without the ball, and you have to learn how to be tested and how you cope in those situations. And that's why I think the mentality is all the way wrong.
Well, the issue is when we are playing internationals, I think we played France. I think we have played Germany in friendlies. They're never the Germany that's going to be in the competition. They're trying their team out. They've got under 21s playing, things like that. So you're never going to be able to test yourself against these top teams because they never put the full team out.
Truthsy says it was Portugal who knocked us out in 2000. I think we lost to Portugal. They didn't knock us out. Then we beat Germany, and then we got beat off Romania, which was what knocked us out. But I mean, it was a shambles as usual. There's also a couple of super chats which I'll read out. Cameron S says if England win the group, they play second of the group of death.
Hang on. Richard here saying,
go on.
You got put out by Iceland in the last competition, but you only get put out by big teams. I said we only get put out by big teams.
It's just usually, that's the thing.
So as soon as we come up against anyone, it's a tough game, we go out.
Croatia.
Simple.
Cameron S, if England win the group, they play second of the group of death, France, Portugal or Germany. They aren't making it past round 16. Juan Martin, I mean, it doesn't matter sometimes who we play. Juan Martinez says, Leicester sign League Un winning CDM Sumare for 18 million. Yet another player to be linked with it in 2 years for 65 million. Need better scouts or listen to them. Harry Matthews, thanks for your super chat, Harry. I think you did one before, which didn't have any copy on it, but you've done another one. The clubs are using an intermediate as the negotiator, which is why they are saying there hasn't been any direct contact between the two clubs. Love you lot. We love you too, bro. We had this last time, didn't we? Who was it who was involved last time? Was it something like Stefan Liechtensteiner's brother or something? Was involved in the Sancho negotiations.
Not sure.
Yeah, I mean, there was people getting involved. I mean, we have had it in the past, haven't we, where people have pretended to be from Manchester United and tried to buy under Herrera.
Under Herrera.
That was quite an interesting transfer window,
wasn't
it? It was funny it was like that day, wasn't it? When we bought Fellaini for more than we had to. We tried to buy Fabio Contrao at like 10:30 at night, and Real Madrid were like, no.
I'm in bed.
Yeah, and we're not going to be able to buy anyone to replace him because the transfer deadline ends in fucking 7 minutes. So go away. Then there was rumours we were going to buy Sami Khedira, and they were like, well, that's not happening. And then, we didn't buy anyone. It was a bit of a shambles. And then we had the imposters go to negotiate with Bilbao, was it?
How did they know, though? Because we did sign him the following transfer window, didn't we? So
maybe they just sort of heard we were in for him, thought, we'll get involved in this. We'll go make this happen. Proactive, I like it.
Quick question here. Tom Greenwell, out some of the clubs that are making requests to play Paddock just doing the same thing you're advocating and looking to test themselves? Yes, to a certain degree, but there's no benefit to us to play a team that's potentially several levels below. You want to really look for... Honestly, the best games are the ones that are 50-50. Not necessarily against a team that you're going to have to defend for your lives, that you don't necessarily learn too much in those. You want to be tested, not twatted. And you don't want to roll someone over as well. That's the difference. Is like, I'm not saying England... I mean, England are probably a top 10 team. So England could probably choose anyone
let's not be too
within
silly
the top 10 and have a competitive fixture. Yeah. This isn't like fucking San Marino going, let's sort it out. We'll play Brazil and then fucking France. And like, that's not what we're saying. San Marino can have competitive football fixtures against like...
the Red Lion.
Chester or someone like that. Or the other clubs, teams ranked, Andorra and Liechtenstein. That's competitive football for them.
Winners.
Be competitive because that's where you find out how to win and how to not lose. That's what I'm saying.
Makes lots of sense. Also, for the England thing, did anyone answer me on the Jadon Sancho front? How well he played? I can't remember. I don't think you did.
It was a shit game. So
right, that's fair enough. Let's focus on the positive, though. Marcus Rashford, his 100th career
goal.
He
did play shit, and it wasn't for missing a penalty. He just played shit. He was overshadowed by everybody on the pitch, and that was Jordan Henderson. Ward-Prowse should rightly have walked into that dressing room afterwards and gone, Southgate, really? Fucking wank.
Roy Keane made a good point. He said, like, if he's not funny, if he's not fit, like, why is he going? He can't get match fit for it. So what's he doing? Is he doing like doing card tricks and is he entertaining them all? Does he do pub quizzes or whatever? I think he said. Like, why is he going?
Yeah, because Southgate said he's good for the dressing room.
Yeah, like, what's that mean? Yeah. And I kind of get that. I think if you're not, like, I know you say, there's a lot of players that go in, but those places are precious. And you can't be taking someone who's not 100%. Now, you might go, well, okay, Harry Maguire isn't 100%, but maybe he shouldn't be going either.
Yeah.
I mean, if these players aren't 100% fit, what are they going to get fit during the tournament? Is that not a bit overly risky? I mean, with Maguire, I get it a little bit because I'm not just being a United fan and biased, but I do think Southgate, especially the way he plays and what Maguire brings to that defence, he's the best defender. I don't care what anyone says. Jordan Henderson, when everyone's fit, for me, wouldn't even get in the team anyway. If he was fit,
I think it's from... Was it 2006 when Rooney broke his foot and they took him along?
He should never have gone. Do you remember all that shit?
Like, Wayne Rooney was a goal scorer who was a phenom. Jordan Henderson is a fucking bang average midfielder who runs like he's wearing a nappy.
Well, Rooney came back in that because he was scoring. They go, well, that works. So if he's injured,
you can right.
The thing is, Rooney wasn't himself in the 2006 World Cup. It was shocking that he went.
A case for
good year after.
For great players to go when they're match winners and attacking players. You wouldn't take someone in defence or in midfield in the engine room. And I don't think Harry Maguire should have gone. I don't think Rashford should have gone.
That's another story. Like, we were speaking about this last time, and it's like, from a United point of view, you don't want him to go because there's talk of him missing the start of the season if he has to have his operation, or he's going to have his operation if England get quite far. I think he'll have... If England went all the way to the final, which is highly unlikely, I know.
No, wait, not just got a horrible comment in there that I didn't want to think about.
Go on.
What's the chances Rashford gets the Beckham or Neville treatment post-tournament if he misses one good chance?
I think he should take back all the free meals he's given to everyone. Just say, right, okay, yeah, you're not having them.
And go to WH
And
Smith.
also, we'll make the government do an U-turn, so they're not going to give 400 million quid or whatever it is to poverty-stricken people. Yeah. And you can have my MBE back as well.
Go to WH Smith and say, not half price anymore, full price.
Exactly. Have a bit of that.
And postage.
It is going to be, we spoke about this last time, but there is going to be probably a bogeyman, and it probably will be a Manchester United player, because that's what the English press loves to do.
Just the odds
and
are,
the
we take more players. I mean, have United got more players in the squad than anyone, despite being a bit shit?
I think we've got 4, and I think who's close to that? Probably Yeah, probably have. Let me bring up the England squad to get it.
Well, City got Stones, Foden,
Sterling.
City then.
Walker.
City have got 4 as well.
City have got 4.
They all shared a big Uber from Manchester together.
So, but everyone hates United though, don't they? Like, all fans hate United.
You might have Trippier joining that as well. And Sancho, so you could end up with 6 by the end of it.
But the thing is, like, even when it's a United player playing against England, when Ronaldo winked, everyone hated him and he got his own vandalised. His job was to play for Portugal, not for England. It was to win the game for Portugal.
He also, I don't know if you've fucking come to terms with this or not, did not stamp on Carvalho's bollocks. A different guy did that. Like, Rooney stood all over Carvalho's bollocks, independently of anything Ronaldo did. And then there was a little bit of shoving afterwards, which is irrelevant to the fact that Wayne Rooney jumped all over fucking Ricardo Carvalho's bollocks, right? Which I don't know if you've read the laws of the game, is contrary to fucking several of the rules.
Now
you just definitely Ronaldo's fault.
Now you're just getting technical, Steve.
So, I mean, literally, I remember them analysing the wink and I was like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Like, it literally could have been, right, they've got 10 men, don't do anything stupid. Sound.
Yeah, like it was just absolutely stupid that people were losing their minds over it, and like everyone was like, "Oh, he's out of order," and the press were like, "You winker," and all that sort of
Rooney
stuff.
didn't help though, didn't he? Come out and say that he fell out with Ronaldo over it, and they had to get back together and have a meeting.
No, I think they quickly sorted it out. I think Fergie.
Well, I think straight after, I think the emotions.
But you've got to remember,
game.
right? There was a lot of the English press who was saying that Fergie should sell Ronaldo.
Yeah,
off the back of it.
I remember.
He's got to go. Oh yes, let's just sell a player who's just about to become the best on the planet and win us the lot for the next 3 years because he winked after Wayne Rooney stamps on his teammates' gonads.
Ronaldo wanted to go though because I think he saw the backlash coming.
And we were speaking about this for a week. I think there's a lot of United fans, no one will admit it now, but he would have sided with Rooney. Had it been a choice of one of them two leaving the club,
yeah, undoubtedly.
People would have gone, well, Rooney's got to stay.
Ronaldo was I'm not even sure he was a step above Nani, really, at the time. Going in 05, 06, there was flashes of good there, but certainly not what he came after.
Fergie, didn't he, about give him, I can't remember what the bonus was, if he scored 15 goals. And he didn't get it that season before, did he? I think it was the 2000 and the year after when... What was the first game? Fulham, but 5-1 won it, and I think did he score a couple in that?
I think Rooney set him up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he was saying, like, I think Rooney got asked about it, and he said, "There's no dramas with me and him." He said, "We've got on." And this is one thing, right?
They did a really shit BBC interview sitting in a changing room together. Did you see it? It was so cringe.
This is one thing Rooney doesn't get enough credit for me, is the amount of goals he created for others. Like, he had next to him Ronaldo when Ronaldo got Golden Boot, Van Persie when Van Persie got Golden Boot, Dimitar Berbatov when Berbatov got Golden Boot. And also, they all won the title that season as well. So it wasn't like he was just helping someone get a load of goals and didn't win anything. Do you know what I mean? He was the ultimate selfless. And he also scored more goals for Manchester United than anyone else in history.
And England.
But, and people go, he didn't quite live up to expectations.
He wasn't a good enough striker, he didn't score
He didn't reach his potential.
Yeah. It's like, what was his potential? Like, what do you want from the guy?
Like, unless his potential was a bit better than Ronaldo. Rooney at times was a shade under being the best player in the world for 4 or 5 years, which is pretty good.
He was 2 injuries away from me for being in that conversation. I think if he hadn't got injured in 2004 against Portugal, when he had to come off, we could have won the Euros off the back of him. And also in 2010 against Bayern Munich, we could have won the double. And again, he would have been the main man, not Ronaldo, not anyone else. And it was the metatarsal, I think, both times, or it was metatarsal on the ankle.
Didn't he do it? He did it against away, but the home game he played, didn't he?
Yeah, the stamps on him right near the end, didn't it? And he played him, and he had to wheeled him out and cut him.
Go and watch my warm down that I did with Tony Strudwick, because he says they wanted to get Rooney off because he was injured at half time in the home leg. I think it might have been the away leg, but I think it was the home leg.
Fergie kept signalling to him, and Rooney kept giving a thumbs up. And he was obviously not.
And then they was also going to take Raphael off at half time, who was on a yellow. And then apparently they got in the changing rooms and there was a fight, like a proper Barney between several people. I need to ask people about that. And then the buzzer went, like, you've all got to get back out. And they're like, right, fucking get out. And then they got out and they went, oh, didn't make the subs. Bereat. Imagine.
That was the most nailed on your second yellow ever, wasn't it?
Well,
Everyone was saying, he's going to get... What is he still doing on the pitch? He's going to get another yellow. Oh, he's got another yellow. Oh, he's sent off.
I'm still convinced that...
I think Rooney was also poor in that second half as well.
I think he came off in the end, yeah.
Yeah, I'm convinced Van Gaal got rid of Raphael because of that game. He wasn't even our manager at the point, but the moment
he stayed in his memory.
Watson was like, no.
Yeah, not having you. Why? That was one signing, that one sale we shouldn't have made because he still had something to offer and, he was a popular player, wasn't he, with the fans and everything. Also, on the Euros front, we have got Twitch watch-alongs kicking off this Friday.
Where?
With Italy versus Turkey.
On Twitch?
On Twitch, mate.
Twitch.
YouTube, right? It's all right. It's good. Obviously, we're here on YouTube now. I like it. But got to move with the times, Grandad.
We've already done it, haven't we?
Me and him, we're doing under 23 watch-alongs on Twitch before you were born.
So,
yeah?
Well, you were doing a lot before I was fucking born.
Exactly. We were covering the Busby Babes and all that, mate. Don't worry about that. So we're going to be back on Twitch for that, so make sure you check it out. It's going to be me, it's going to be Joe Smith, and a few others as well. We're going to do a few during the game. We're not going to do England. We're going to do different ones because, we're like that. And also, there's these other United players playing in different teams as well, so we can talk about that.
There's also another channel in this studio doing England.
No, we chose not to do it, Steve. We didn't get told, right? Me and Joe decided we don't want to do England anyway. So you and Rio, wherever it is, can do what you want. We're not bothered.
But there's a good chance that we've got Rooney on over the summer. In here.
In here? I've interviewed him twice, mate. Not a big thing.
Done it in a bar, though?
No, I haven't. No. All right. Fair comment. I haven't.
There's some of the guests that we've got coming on in the summer that I am...
Do I have to delete tweets if I'm here?
Shit-faced. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some...
All right, I might have to start deleting. Just give me a heads up so I can delete the tweets in case I bump into it. It's really awkward.
Definitely some Robbie Savage ones.
Oh, mate, yeah, 100%. I've already had that a few times with journalists that I've bumped into. I've done a podcast with and I've gone, oh. And then someone's tweeted that we're on a podcast together and it's, why is that not coming up? Oh, because you've blocked me. That's why. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think about all that.
Rooney was mint.
Yeah.
I think I underappreciated him.
I think we all did.
I think the problem with Rooney,
I used to
and this
love
is the one
about him.
criticism I will have of him, and I think this is the difference perhaps between Messi and him and Ronaldo. I don't buy into this thing that Rooney didn't dedicate himself or didn't, wasn't focused. He was. I think sometimes when there was stuff going on off the pitch, it got to him. And there was a couple of times, little spells, towards the end of the 2012 season, when City won the league, he went off the boil a little bit, a few games with stuff going on in the press, and I think it might have just got in his head a little bit. Because he was that type of player when he's that type of bloke. Whereas Ronaldo, the world could be on fire, and he didn't matter. He was just laser focused.
I just remember, if we drew a game or didn't win, everyone would be, it's because Rooney didn't score. It wasn't because...
Yeah, there was an element of that as well. It was ridiculous.
Everyone was like that.
Like, Rooney got 34 goals this season, but it was his fault we lost the league because he didn't score in that last one that we needed a goal for. What? Do you know what I mean? And the thing with Rooney is, what I loved about him, that often goes underrated, was like, how many times could he get the crowd going?
Yeah.
He'd fly into a tackle. Like, he'd run 90 yards.
He got that with idea, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, first couple of minutes, big game,
Yeah.
welly someone,
Yeah.
get a bollock in,
Yeah.
jobbed. Crowds on its feet going mental.
Do you remember when he got that injury where he nearly cut his own artery from flying into a
Was it against Fulham? Wasn't it?
something like someone stood, wasn't it, who had like those
Yeah, it just goes, oh.
Yeah, and it was like that was an inch the other way. Like, it would have done his femoral artery or whatever it's called. Like, he might not have lived because he was just like a lunatic, but a lunatic who was absolutely amazing at football as well. Just it was weird in how now you sort of people appreciate him more. And you go, actually, that guy that scored 250 odd goals for us, he was actually pretty good, wasn't he?
Think about 250 goals, right? It's literally 25 goals a season for 10 years. Right? That's consistency on another level, isn't it?
It is. Do you know what I mean? It's like you say, and also he wasn't just a player that just got goals. As I said before, he created so many for others.
In his own box, winning the ball back, he was ridiculous.
It used to annoy me and all.
I know.
Get in the other box. That's what you paid for. Some of the comments was just seen. What do you guys think about Villa outbidding Arsenal for Buendia? I'd be more worried if Buendia was going to a small club like Arsenal over a behemoth like Aston Villa. Would be my thinking.
Well, Aston Villa are a bigger club than Arsenal.
Facts.
They won the European Cup.
Facts.
Arsenal never won out of there.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So there you go. That's how you work that out. We've worked it out for you. Good player, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Max Aaron's Buendia. There's another lad they got there as well at Norwich. That's a bit of a baller. Who is it? Cantwell. They've had some fucking real good players down there that I was shocked didn't move on instantly, to be honest. I think there's going to be some real interesting transfers go. I just saw one earlier that Leicester are looking at, I think it's Sumer and Edouard, and they're going to get them probably for around about 36 million, something along those lines. And you think, Jesus, we couldn't sign a backup fucking left back for that sort of price, would we?
No.
And they're getting 2 players for that.
Their scouting is unreal.
It's a different phone line when we pick up. We ring up, we go, how much? It's United. Tell them 80 million.
And then we go, yeah, all right. Hang on a minute.
Or we say,
we'll do it.
We'll give you 78.
But we'll wait a month.
2 million next week. Yeah, all right, sound. With the Euros, we've got quite a few players over there, haven't we? Not just Manchester United players in the England team.
A lot of Premier League players have gone over.
There's a lot of Premier League players, but you've got
more than any other league, Jay.
Really? We've got
even
Pogba.
an MLS player, I think.
What? Eh?
I don't know. No one cares.
Yeah, that's true. We've got Donny van der Beek, got Paul Pogba as well, obviously. We were talking then about 2006. It was a bit of a springboard for Ronaldo. Do you think maybe someone like Donny could have a decent summer and get himself going? Because he hasn't really got going at Manchester United yet, has he?
He might get game time because he's not been getting it for United. And I don't think
He's not been getting it for friendlies.
Has he not?
No.
Maybe. He might be an injury. You might pop him in and he might set the world on fire.
I just want to see him play some football because I'm the only one on the planet who don't know anything about him. Everyone is an expert, and I'm sitting there going, "Well, I saw him for Ajax twice, I think."
Yeah. I've seen like 20 minutes worth of football for United. And
and I'll be honest with you, when I've seen him for United, he hasn't done a lot. So I'm not going to go, well,
one game against Southampton, he was very good.
Yeah, fair point. Everyone was terrible against Leicester, but he was as well. So it's like, I'm waiting to see him play football so I can make a judgment.
Dylan Levitt, gone to the Welsh team.
Amazing that for him. I mean, it was 2 years ago, was it, that we watched him qualify for the under-19s?
Yeah, we drove to Bangor for a stadium smaller than this room.
That was freezing.
To watch him, it was so cold. It was double big coat weather, right?
Really?
To watch him play for Wales under-19s off the fucking bench, right, against San Marino. And when he came on as well, he looked 15 levels above the entire squad on the pitch there.
That's meant that.
And yeah, now he's, not only is a full Wales international, he's been killing it. And even more than that, man of the match over there. Can't get a game for United.
He went to Croatia, didn't he, Dylan Levitt?
Didn't really play much.
Right. Yeah. So, a bit of a sideways move, but obviously doing well internationally. I know it's not the Euros, but also Hannibal, your mate, Dave, you're always raving about. He played for Tunis the other day. I've seen highlights, looked like he had a good game.
Yeah, from what I didn't watch the game, but from what I've read, it looked like they were very impressed with him. It was a strange one, Tunisia. Obviously, everyone thought it was going to be France's next thing coming from, I can't even say it, what's the place called?
Clairefontaine.
That's the one.
That's where they all come from, innit? The French style.
Because he had his that Instagram spot with Ted and Mengi, didn't he? When he hugged the other player and he put that underneath.
Ted and Mengi was like,
nah,
hang on a minute.
Not having this.
What's this?
Clayton in the house.
Yeah, Clayton, mate. I felt bad for him. It's like, whoa. Delete that one, son.
But yeah, he chose Tunisia and...
Fair play. That's where you want to play. That's where you consider you
exactly. If that's what he wants,
you've every right to do that.
And he's going to get game time there as well. Yeah. Look at him. If he was chose France, would he be playing for France?
Jesus,
yeah. Obviously, he's made a decision for himself and got a game already, and looks like he's doing well. And I hope he has a lot of success for Tunisia and Manchester United Football Club, because we saw him in the under-23s and everything you described about him came true. He's like, he was mint, but he's got that little bit in him, hasn't he? I mean,
petulance.
He waved a card and called the player over to come and get the imaginary.
He stood next to the referee.
I've never seen that before. That's genius. He didn't just go. He went, no. He almost got his book out. Come here, you. And the referee's going, pat that in, and he's going, no, I'll referee this game. You just move out of the way.
It's all right.
Yeah. And the referee just went,
name.
Yeah. Right, and I've got to send you off. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing a lot more of Hannibal.
I do think he has got a bit in him. Like we already saw anyway. Like him and Mengi going at it was interesting. I wouldn't like to have been him in training the next day though, because what Mengi coming after you, do you?
No.
Big lad, isn't he?
Hey?
Big lad.
Not at all. But no, it's good to see these players
Got
doing
also,
well, getting games for their countries.
Amad Diallo playing for Cote d'Ivoire as well.
Scored a 97th minute free kick, didn't he?
Oh, have you seen it?
Aye.
Lovely free kick.
Could he be the next Fred when it comes to free kicks? Hey, think about it.
See that
the pecking order is going to be Fred, Bruno,
Beckham's
Rashford,
kid,
Diallo.
Romeo.
Oh, I saw that as well.
Absolutely top bins in one. Was it for Fort Lauderdale?
I don't know what it was, but it was.
Have we made a bid yet? Like, just give him the number 7, sign him, yeah, whatever. Beckham writes itself that narrative, doesn't it?
Like,
We did it with Fort Lauderdale, which
we
is
did it with Jordy Cruyff.
Do you know
he
what?
was
Right?
different.
Jordy Cruyff, can I just say this, was mint if it was warm. Right? He was one of those players, pre-season, in the summer, you know, he's better than his dad. Yeah, as soon as the Mancunian weather kicks in, isn't he playing, Jordy? Isn't he on the pitch? Oh, yeah, he is. He's getting subbed. He just didn't want to know.
I respect that, Jay. I hate the cold myself.
It's like, I'm not playing in this, it's freezing. Fergie's like, what? Listen, I'm a Cruyff, do what I want. All right, fair enough. But yeah, Beckham, that'd be great to see one of the Beckhams coming out. I don't think it's going to happen though, is it, anytime soon? But you know.
He's playing for Fort Lauderdale, which I think is the reserve team of Inter Miami. I'm sure that's nothing to do with his dad owning the team and purely on talent alone. But he did just absolutely...
He got scouted, apparently. They didn't even know it was Beckham.
He's gone over there.
Just
Well.
literally
Harvey
scouted.
Neville's gone over there now as well. Yeah.
Who was?
Harvey Neville.
So yeah, Romeo Beckham absolutely top
Okay.
bins for Fort Lauderdale.
I see Inter Miami taking this very seriously then. Hey, it's like, what's this? Your lad wants to play. Yeah, sound. Yeah, not a problem. Where's he want to play? What, in goal? Yeah, go on then. He's got his gloves.
Listen, I once said I'd never talk shit about younger players coming through. I don't think it's fair on them.
I'm not
So
giving
I'm
them
saying
grief.
fuck all about them.
Yeah, I'm merely commenting on the fact that Inter Miami seems to be doing this a little bit. Like,
So it says the
left field.
Dutch weather's the same as Manchester, but he grew up in Barcelona though.
Ah, see, this is the thing.
Born while Johan was playing for Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And he called him Jordi because apparently, who knew this? Jordi is the name of, I believe, some sort of Catalan dissident kind of guy. And it's
Really?
a band name. And he was like, I'm calling him fucking Jordi then. And he was like, you can't call him that. And he was like, well, I can because I'm Dutch and he's Dutch.
And
He's not
also,
Spanish.
Johan Cruyff famously did what the fuck he wanted, didn't he?
No, he did.
Like,
He
come on.
No, he didn't do what he wanted.
Well, he didn't go to the World Cup one yet because he didn't want to. He's chain smoked like, and no one I've ever seen chain smoke on a touchline before.
It's more than he did what he wanted.
Yeah.
He did the opposite of what you wanted him to do.
Right, okay.
It wasn't just like, I'm going to do what I feel like doing. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you want me to do? No.
Right. Johan, do you want to win us this World Cup? No.
The 78 World Cup
Yeah.
would have been won if he was
Easily.
playing.
They got to the final without him.
Was it in the ITV studio? In his book, he goes, as I'm sitting there watching the final, I went, I would have won a World Cup if I played. He was 31! Fucking 31!
He's like the best player on the planet, and they got to the final without him. I'm guessing he would have got him over the line. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, it was my favourite memory of him, obviously, is the 1991 European Cup Winners' Cup final, where he was stood there smoking away as we beat him.
Handsome, cool. Bring back touchline trench coats, is what I say.
I think you should be rocking it.
Yeah, I'm too fat to make it cool, though.
Give it a go. We'll be the judges of that.
You got to be skinny in a
They're
trench
still
coat.
selling in Affleck's.
Yeah, that's a different trench coat. You got to go with like the old school reporter style one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and Johan Cruyff made it cool.
Ralph, 22 has made a great point. He says, don't let this discussion distract you from the fact that Pep Guardiola has spent 850 million quid to do what Pellegrini did. It's a very good point, that. I'm glad he's brought it to our attention.
On top of a team that had already won the league with Pellegrini, who wasn't good enough for West Ham.
Yeah, we almost missed that one. We have had some good news, though. I had it in my news this morning as well. And you were doubting these owners. Getting new floodlights. That was my reaction.
That's their investment in it.
Yeah.
I think we've
Hey,
getting new grass as well.
Told you the stadium was sorted. Ta-da!
Look at these light bulbs, eh? And they're not even the energy-saving ones, eh? We've not even scrimped. These are the expensive ones. These are from Marx's, eh? You're like, all right, that's okay. Now I can just see an underperforming team a bit better.
I can see where it needs fucking painting now.
Yes, thank you for highlighting that as this rain drips on my head. So, yeah. Are they taking the piss? Or what? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yes!
What is this?
We need to improve communications. We've been in an abusive relationship for 16 years. We need a divorce, motherfucker. We don't need to communicate.
I know. Miles Van Eaton says, Garner goes on loan. We are saying we believe Matic has legs to still contribute next season. I think there's a bit of a discussion going on a bit about Matic and Garner and whatnot.
Yeah, I think Garner's going back to Nottingham Forest, I've heard, for another year.
I think Garner,
oh, mate.
Laird, what's Laird going to do nowadays with, supposedly buying Kieran Trippier in? Now, one of the rules of the transfer market that you should adhere to is, like, is this blocking anyone's route to the first team, especially as a backup? If it's a first choice guy and you go, listen, we're bringing in, like we did with Cavani, perhaps, you go, look, he's going to be mint, he's coming in. Or like when you bought Pogba, is anyone going, what about Joe Rothwell? Shut up, it's Paul Pogba. But when you're buying a backup, I think you should always dip into the academy for a backup. Always. Because you get some good service out of players like that. And otherwise, if you go, you bought Donny van der Beek last year for 40 million. You buy Kieran Trippier now for 25 million. That's 65 million on players who aren't playing.
I agree.
Let's call it academy players, Galbraith, Laird, and buy a 65 million player that actually fucking starts and make the team better.
I would not be against seeing Ethan Laird come into the first team squad at all. My only sort of point would be, or maybe playing a little bit of devil's advocate, is there not a thing that you could say, Kieran Trippier's 30, he comes in for 2 years, Ethan Laird has had a few injury issues over the years, give him another season where he's getting regular football, not bit football, regular. He's obviously flying at MK Dons, give him another year there or somewhere else because loads of clubs would have him. And then in a year's time or 2 years' time maybe, he's ready to challenge Aaron Wan-Bissaka for that right back spot because Kieran Trippier's 32 and he's gone.
Well, the thing is with MK Dons this year, he's obviously played as a winger. Yeah, it's like if he played the back three, like a wing back. But he's done the whole season without being injured. He's been...
Because that's the thing in it with Ethan Laird, was always that worry on them. Because if you're 15, 16, 17 picking up these knocks, you worry, don't you?
But you also got to think, like, he was never really playing loads and loads of games. Academy football's not fit for purpose, it's gash.
Yeah. And I wonder... need back? What? Royal Antwerp.
Yeah.
Is it the Glazers that got rid of that?
Yep.
Why?
Because it was costing us about 30 grand a year.
Oh, yes. And obviously, in that case, get rid of it immediately. 30 grand. When we can just go and overspend millions of pounds on players.
And listen,
the academy's not as good as it could be.
You fucks in the comments who tell me that it's tax efficient to have debt are off your fucking nappers, right? When you are a bank or a fucking condom depot, whatever you are, right? Maybe it's efficient to have some debt so you're not paying absolutely through the arse in tax. When you're a business that relies on cash flow to attract and recruit talent on a bi-yearly basis, and you have to compete with other people spending hundreds of millions of pounds, which is almost unique to football or sports at least in that sort of realm, 1.2 billion pounds worth of debt refinancing. How much fucking tax do you think we'd have paid in that time, you utter lunatics? Just because you read one fucking chapter of a fucking book on economics doesn't mean that it's efficient for a football club. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, it's largely efficient to have a little bit of debt to offset any tax that you might have to pay. But not once, as they ever said, have 1.5 billion pounds worth of fucking debt, walk out the door doing a moonwalk while you've been asset stripping the first fucking team and diminishing the fucking thing that you bought in the first place, you fucking dicks.
I'm sick of you sitting on the bleeding fence. For anyone who didn't know what Royal Antwerp was, it was a club that we used to loan players out to.
Yeah, we spent...
when we had developing players. So people like Danny Higginbottom went there, Darren Gibson went there, Ronnie Walworth went there.
It wasn't just like one at a time. You
sent
like four over.
You sent four of them over. They'd spend a year in the Belgian league or whatever.
I think at the time it was Division 2 in the
Division
Belgian,
2, sort of play a lot of football, hopefully get fit and get ready for first team football. Johnny Evans went out there as well, I think. Fraser Campbell, Danny Simpson.
Tons of them did. Loved it.
Did Tunnicliffe go?
The greatest midfielder ever. I don't think he did. He's not on my list. He may have done. I don't think he did. But yeah, Ryan Tunnicliffe, what a legend. But yeah, we sent them out there. They did well, a lot of them. It was useful. And it also let you know what level they were at as well. Some of them came back, went into United's first team. Others, like Bardsley and Warwick and you know, a few others went to other clubs. You look at them and you think, okay, maybe they're not at the level that they should be. But there's a lot of players that left United's academy, went to Round Antwerp, and had a Premier League career.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Ryan Shawcross is another one.
Yeah.
It made sense. It cost whatever, you know, I know you've been a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it was pennies, wasn't it?
It was pennies. Things it was. But what it also allowed us to do was to buy players for Royal Antwerp. And I don't know an example of anyone that we did this with, but for example...
Dong Fang Zhu, he went there.
No, it wasn't him. I think the people from outside the EU, Dong Fang Zhu would have been one of those, but it didn't work out with him. But like players that you want to sign from Africa or South America or somewhere like that, Belgium's got a lower threshold when it comes to giving out work permits and things like that. So you can bring them into Europe to start getting them into the process of getting a work permit on a less restriction than you do for the UK, perhaps. So that was one of the reasons for using Belgium. It wasn't just because it's quite a technical league that you can play out from the back in, and the average age is a lot younger. I think Dutch league at the minute, the average age of the players is like 20. It's a very, very young league at the moment. But here's what it is.
It is what it is. We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for everyone who got involved in the comments. We've got loads of good stuff coming up this week. We've got transfers live every night. It's you tomorrow night, isn't it? Doing a bit of old transfers.
Yeah, MP in the comments says, Laird went an entire game without having to come off with an injury despite being one of the most foul players in League One. And I think the only time he ended up, I think he had to come off or there was talk of him getting injured.
Start of the season, it was a dead leg.
It wasn't. He had the shits.
All right.
He had to come off because he was going to poo himself. So, he wasn't even injured.
I'm glad. I bet he's glad he told you that.
So why is that going to happen?
So there's only 3,000 people watching. I'm sure we can all keep it to ourselves. You're going to do transfers live. We're going to have news in the morning as always. We're going to have transfer updates throughout the transfer window. We're going to have a Tier 1 transfer podcast as well. That's coming back. We've got a good guest there. We've got a few others lined up, so make sure you're checking that out. As I said earlier, we are going to be doing watch-alongs on Twitch, kicking off with, who is it, Italy versus France, is it? Turkey. Italy, Turkey on Friday. So there'll be me, there'll be Joe, and Jordan will be here as well, I think, for that one. So make sure you're checking out our Twitch channel. Obviously, make sure you're checking out the YouTube channel. Make sure you're hitting like, share, and subscribe as well. Steve, anything else you want to add?
We just had a bit of a thingy there talking about Jordan Henderson and all the rest of that sort of stuff with Rio and Joel over on 5. We are doing watch-alongs for the England games, and we've also got a new show called Late Night Vibe as well, which is going to be maybe a rum or two, bit of a darker kind of vibe set, sofas, chilling. It's 11:30 at night. It's coming on after all the games, so
it's really weird that my invite to that show or to any of these shows must have got lost in the emails because I didn't seem to receive it.
Yeah, just hit refresh.
Yeah, I've been doing that constantly. I'll keep doing it. Right, so make sure you're checking out all that stuff as well. Dave, where can people find you?
Twitter and Instagram, just David Pritt, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, go. Make sure as well you subscribe to the channel. This has been the Paddock Podcast. Thanks for watching.